Welcome back, everyone, to Merge Conflict. Let's talk about mobile development.
It's what we do. It's in the show title or in the subtitle. It's somewhere in the show.
It's somewhere. I need to take this camera and zoom it. There you go. Can you see that my forehead? Now you can see my forehead again. Oops.
James, you are looking lovely. It's good to see you, buddy. What have you been up to?
I've been, we had a mission, Frank Kruger, which was to progress our apps. Let's get them 2025. It's happening. We got to get them.
What year?
2025. It's here. We're 1/4 the way through 100 years.
Oh, that's a perspective I haven't heard. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an arbitrary-ish date.
Is it a century? What's the 100? Is that a century?
100 is a century.
Okay, yeah. We're quarter way through the century. Frank, we're doing it. And I wanted to talk about our favorite topic that we've probably talked about in episode 68, 128, 215, 342.
By the years? Yeah.
I want to talk about certificates and, more importantly, keystores. Yep.
No.
It's happening. Yep. Yeah.
I have opinions, but they're all bad.
So, as you know, I was recently, over the holiday break, pushing out a few app updates. And my favorite like thing that I did is that my certificate for iOS expired at like 8 p.m. on like January 5th or something.
Is that for everyone? Are we just bad luck? Because mine's the same. Mine always seems to expire just as I'm like trying to do like a holiday hack or something like that. Is that for everyone? Please write in and let us know. Or is it just you and I?
It must be. I didn't know that yours was also that. That's so funny. It's like there are just certain times where it's like, yep, it's January. All my certs are expiring.
There goes all my certs. I got to redo every provisioning profile for my 300 apps.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Great. Awesome. I'm very excited about this. And then you got to upload it to all your CI/CD servers. You got to redo everything. And you're like, oh, come on, man. This is not cool. So I was like, well, I got to get this app update at least published to Apple by like 5 p.m. or whatever. Because I don't know what the 8 p.m. is. Is that Eastern? Is that Pacific? I think it's Pacific. But where was I when I created this cert?
Who knows where in the world James is at any point in time, let alone yourself. That's
very true. So sure enough, Frank, I got that puppy out. It's out there. It's out to the races.
Bravo.
Now iOS is fine. If you lose these certificates, you lose your provisioning profiles, it's no biggie. You just go generate new ones, Frank.
Just have to re-sign every single app you've ever rewritten.
All you got to do. You got to redo that every year anyways, Frank. So it's not like it's fine.
Do we have a script for that? Oh boy, I should write a script for that.
I feel like, what is that? Fastlane? Is that still a thing? Fastlane, you know Fastlane.
Well, I do use Detour CI/CD stuff, but I do use a thing that auto downloads the profiles. So
Xcode.
My job is simply create the signing certificate or signing request, get the new cert, go to their website, pick the 5 apps that I remember I'm working on, and regenerate their provisioning profiles, and then go to the 5 repositories and copy and paste in probably the wrong way because I just keep choosing the same password. All my certs. Don't hack me. I'm asking you, please don't hack me.
Frank rocks. He's so cool. Yeah, pretty much. That's the life that we live.
Is that the procedure? Okay.
That's
I'm not insane. Okay.
That's what you do. Yes, 100%. Now, I, for all my Xamarin apps, for all my CI/CD, I use App Center for everything, which is also retiring.
Classic.
Wow. And they have
on vinyl.
Yeah. It is all on vinyl. They have a nice migration tool, which I also have utilized to move to Azure DevOps, which you can also put in your CI/CD pipeline, which you could obviously then convert to GitHub Actions, whatever you want to do. So at least gives you the pipeline and the templates, because App Center was built on Azure DevOps, which, GitHub Actions, very similar type of stuff as well. Like it's just different semantics, different actions. But I was like, okay, cool. So I had started this process like forever and a day ago, after the retirement was announced, started to do the migration. And for Android, they're like, okay, like here's like the script, blah, blah, blah. Just like grab your key store and like enter
Oh,
your
right.
password. Now,
Keystore. That thing.
historically, for all of my life, I have one key store for all of my apps. I have a key store, one. It's my refractored key store that never expires for like 100 years. And it's the same password. It's the same thing. It's like in a OneDrive key vault,
Wait,
password.txt. It's there, right?
you're
One key
blowing my
store.
mind right now. Are you using the same? This is for Android, right? Are
Yeah.
you using the same key store for multiple apps?
All you need, baby. One key store
I
for all the
never
apps.
considered this.
You have different
Wow.
key stores? What are you, an
My
animal? I've used
That's amazing. Bravo.
I
Bravo, James.
one key store for all of these years. That's all I ever have. Uh
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Their servers don't detect that because whatever. Fine. Cool.
Signed by you. It's one certificate. If you want to take it a step further, you could put it in like a key vault and like now you got one key store and like here's the thing. Now, um the problem is that for some reason when I decided to make my skiing app, I decided to create a new key store, Frank, for some ungodly reason.
So, okay. I know why I would make these kinds of poor decisions. It's because you think, oh, past Frank. Frank, in my case, you would say James. You'd be like, well, you had this great idea of reusing the key store, and it's worked out just fine, but it's not the right way. Maybe we'll do it the right way this time.
Yeah.
It's either that or Visual Studio automatically generated one and he didn't bother to not use the one it auto generated for you.
I feel like that was probably what happened because it was like I was like really hacking on this app and like really busting it out like really quick and not really thinking about the pipeline. I was publishing directly from Visual Studio for Mac. You know what I mean? Like it was really, it was happening. Um, so I upload the key store into App Center, enter my alias, my passwords, all this stuff, and I don't think about it for 3 years
Yeah.
until I need to export. Like one, I don't even know what the passwords were anymore, and they're not going to tell me what it is, and I don't know where this key store is. I think it's on the MacBook Pro that I sent back to Apple to crush
Oh,
and
right.
destroy and recycle.
Good.
Uh,
Excellent.
um, I don't know. I assume that I had Visual Studio for Mac generated, which means it put it in some random folder that I should have taken and pulled it down and did some stuff with. So this leads me to, well, I can't stop using App Center. I need to keep using App Center for as long as humanly possible. I'm never going to update this app ever again. Because if you lose your key store, Frank, how do you update your app?
I don't know, and I fear this at every moment in my life because never have I don't know, like, maybe I should feel this way about my source code. The fact that it's just one file, you're like, "How do I protect this file?
Yeah.
And how do I remember the password to this file without writing it down anywhere?" Because security people tell me I'm not supposed to write down my passwords anywhere. I hope your password that you've added it to Apple or Windows, whatever passwords app now. I fear this. I can tell you what I do, but I just want to keep hearing your story of what did. So you have the file and you don't have the password, or you don't have the file.
I do not have the file. And
Oh boy.
I
Oh
emailed
boy.
the App Center team. This is like a year and a half ago. And I said, hey,
Give me your database record.
I need this file. And like, we don't have your
Yeah.
file. Because what they
Oh,
do
really?
is they like, it's all security. So it's like they take the file and it's like, basics
Uh,
for code. And then they
uh,
get it in, they get it out. They don't got the keys. They don't have the thing.
zing, zang, zoom.
Like, we don't got your file, bro. Your file is gone. File's zippity doo dah is gone, right? Because it's all just, magical
Okay.
bits. So I go scouring everywhere I can think about this. I'm like, is it on this Mac? Is it on that Mac? Blah, 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 all this stuff. Every formatted Mac is this key store is gone. It is about a one-way ticket to somewhere. It is gone. It is like on permanent holiday. I'm out of here. Deuces. Goodbye. And I also
boy.
don't know the passwords. So even if I have the key store, I also can't get the passwords. So I could guess it's probably like
Yeah.
skiing 1, 2, 3 or something like that because it
You
doesn't
get
matter.
infinite guesses with these things, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Um, so I'm like, all right, now what do I do? So I go, okay, well, App Center is going to retire in a year and a half. So at least I have a year and a half to figure this out. So I think I go back to sleep. I go update app that fall. This fall, I update the app again, and I'm like, okay, like I really gotta like move this app. I already have it 99.9% done in Maui. Like I need to move it. I need to get done. But then I was like, well, now I'm setting up CI/CD pipeline. I was like, what key store do I use? Right. Because I have it converted to Maui. I was like, now how do I build this thing? How do I sign this thing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I ship? Like my ski app 2 and say like retire the old one? Like, do I have to create a new thing on it? Right. Would you have any idea at this point?
You've truly given up on finding it? Like, okay, because I
It's
don't want
gone.
to brag and tell you where I put mine. Mine are all in a Dropbox keys folder.
So I look,
It's not secure. Don't hack me. Everyone, please don't hack me. I'm sorry, all security people, but yeah, I have a folder called keys. And so I don't really have this problem. But man,
mm-hmm. I have one
what's
called
Google's answer to this? Like, people
I,
don't lose their key stores ever. Are you the first human being to lose their key store?
I'm like, I can't. I also I have a folder called certs. And then I'm like, okay, let me find all my certs. I search Keystore in my OneDrive, in my iCloud, right? In my work
uh,
iCloud. Cause I was like, who knows
yeah,
what machine I did what on. And
yeah.
I have like a certs and then I have like
Time machine
Apple's
backup.
time. Ooh, that would have been, no, I don't have that anymore. So
Okay,
I have like Apple certs 2021, Apple certs 2022, Apple certs
yeah.
2024. I don't know where 2023 went.
You're
It's
allowed to
gone.
delete those. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a folder called Key Stores. Nope, those are definitely like those are the key stores that I use over and over and over again. And then I look at and that's it. It's like it's just gone,
Oh
Frank.
gosh.
It's like,
I don't know what to do. Honestly, you are enacting my greatest fear. I don't know
so
what to do.
I remember when I first became an Android developer, I looked this up
Okay.
and just 13, 18 years ago. And Google was like, if you lose your key store, you're SOL. You're
Oh,
out of luck.
really?
So like like you have to go create a new app on the App Store. So like that's a
Remember,
whole new way to do
everyone,
it
we use the same key store on every app.
on every app,
I am more and more sold on your original.
everywhere. Just use everywhere, and make sure that that single one is backed up somewhere. Heaven forbid.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's in the day of 2025, things have gotten better if you opted in to certain things, Frank,
Okay.
because about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer, Apple, well, Apple has their stuff in their file format, which has not changed. But Google, 4, 5, 6 years ago, changed from APKs to Android app bundles. Now, you could
Hmm.
technically still upload APKs, but basically you wanted to switch to Android app bundles because it was like way better for like distributing your app and the size of your app and everything like that. Now, Android app bundles go through sort of a different signing process. And part of it that they did on Google Play was that they enabled you to opt into a service called Google Play App Signing. And what they did is they
Finally.
said, give us your keys.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we will re-sign things for you automatically, right?
Yeah.
They manage, protect your app signing keys. So you can do everything for you. Like it's all good. They'll handle everything. Not a big deal.
Okay. So now we have a solution. The question is, was Past James diligent? Did you click the box when the notification came up?
Well, like every good Android developer, of course, I'm using Google Play app signing. I'm like, this is great. Now, the
Ah,
problem with Google app signing is that you still need to sign your app before you upload your app
yeah.
that gets re signed for data integrity.
But with any old key store then, right?
No, with this
with
the
the real
actual
one.
the real key store, the one that you
Oh,
uploaded.
what's the point of re-signing if you have to sign it? That's not re-signing.
Ah, but Frank, at least that's what I think it's doing. It's doing some key check, but there's a magical button: revoke key store.
Okay, so you're saying Google from 15 years ago has learned a lesson. The first lesson about certificates, it's not issuing certificates, it's revoking certificates that's hard.
Exactly.
Um, okay, so can I
You
put some guesses out there?
go ahead. Yes.
My guess is, um, boy, how does that work with their distribution network anyway? You can revoke one and just upload a new one, and life is good, and you move on with everything. That's what I'm hoping for. But now that I said that, boy, that's a little tricky. Like, what if someone has an old device? Do they get App Store updates or whatever, Google Play Store updates with new certs, whatever? Tell me, how does it work, James?
Yeah. So how it specifically works is that um, if you've opted into this and you're using Android app bundles, which everyone should be, you can revoke the key store that is currently being used, and then you can upload a new key store into the system at any point, which is great.
Okay.
And what that allows at that point is for the basically the certificate matching to happen on the system wide level, because it's like Google has verified that the key store you use is a key store you uploaded, and then Google Play is like, oh, okay, this is cool. We're cool here, basically, like whatever intermediate signing stuff that they're doing. I don't really understand 100% exactly how it works, but this is what
Yeah.
Google says. It says when you use Play app signing, your keys are stored on the same secure infrastructure that Google uses to store its own keys. That makes sense. It says keys are protected by Google's key management service, like a keychain. If you want more, they have an entire white paper that you can read.
Oh,
That's
good.
cool. It says Android apps are signed with a private key. To ensure that app updates are trustworthy, every private key has associated public certificate that devices and services use to verify the app update is from the same source. Devices only accept updates when its signature matches the installed app signature. By letting Google manage your app signing key, it makes this process more secure. So my assumption is that they are when you upload your key store and it matches the key store that you signed with, there's some intermediate third thing, which is the public certificate that they're generating that is allowing Google Play to say, okay, this is a valid app update. I think.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to draw too many conclusions from their words because they weren't very detailed. Like
Yeah.
they left a lot of vagaries there. Like I don't fully understand exactly. Like because they keep saying during the update process. They don't say every time the app runs. So they're not
Just the updates.
constantly yeah, so they're not constantly updating cert refreshes and cert revocations and testing the app against those. My big concern when you revoke a cert is, what about the people who installed the old app? Because if this were the SSL world, the internet world, you revoke a cert, you can't go to that website anymore. That you know anything that uses that cert is no good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. There must be a third party arbitrator, or they just don't check after it's updated, after it's installed, and maybe that's just an Android thing. Honestly, I'm just
Yeah.
ignorant about that.
I think that's how it works. I think that like once it's uploaded, it's like all fine. This is supposed to be some intermediate, like,
Hmm.
so someone doesn't side swipe. If your keys do get compromised, for example, that then swipe in and tries to fake be in your app that gets installed, side loaded, for example.
Yeah, you would, at least the Mac kernel checks signing of app bundles when you run them, and it'll just deny you, and it'll
Yeah.
just say it can't execute it. And that's a good thing. I mean, we complain about certificates and all this signing stuff, but if you ask someone from the 70s, they're like, no, that's a good thing. You're proving that the software on the phone hasn't been hacked. If it's
Yeah.
passing the developer certificate and all that stuff, you can guarantee you don't have a compromised phone. I don't know. So many other ways to compromise phones these days. Does it really
Yeah.
matter? But, um, so anyway, I think all the pain and suffering is kind of worth it, but boy, I am curious how that third party works. Oh, yeah, moving
Yeah.
on.
If anyone has like any like super detailed information, have gone through this process and learned more, like definitely let us know about it. Like I just really dug through a crap ton of Reddit threads and Stack Overflow articles because again, like you said, I'm not the first person to lose my Keystore
Yeah,
apparently. And in the days of yore, it's like, oh yeah, like they've really like solved a lot of that. It seems like at least. And there's a bunch of other complications too, because if you're using different um, different multi APK stuff and you're doing app sharing links and other stuff, there's a bunch of other implications that it might have. But then
sure.
additionally, you might be shipping your app to multiple app stores
Yeah,
too.
great. Yeah,
So that's also a problem. Like this is only solved if you're only shipping to one app store, which like many
fair.
people do, but also many people also ship to like Amazon and to like Huawei and to
Yeah.
like all these other app stores like Fire TV, right? Like I'll be aware that like you still need your key store for that stuff. Now I don't know if those other app stores have this signing process or not, but it's like basically just like keep your key store really safe. Basically, I mean that's always been the
Is
lesson
that the moral of the
forever.
story? Yeah.
That is the moral of the story. Reuse the same one and store it in like a bunch of different services. Put it in your iCloud, put it in your Dropbox, put it in your OneDrive,
Yeah.
put it in your Amazon Drive if that's still a thing. Like just put it in all the drives. Basically, that's what I say.
For once, you are making me feel a little bit better about the Apple process because as we opened, if you lose your signing cert, no big deal. You go to their portal, you say throw that one away, generate me a new one, and you
Yeah,
start signing everything with that new cert. It's really no big deal to just create a new cert. Um, that means that they're doing the same fancy re-signing trick or whatever that Google Play is now doing.
yeah.
Um, it's still not lovely from the Apple side having to redo it every year. Like, what do you prefer? The ease of being able to regenerate a cert and have them expire every year, or the beauty, the elegance of just generating one key store for your entire life and keeping it in a Dropbox folder so you don't lose it? I
I'd
don't
like
know.
to get
Cons on
both.
both sides.
If I could get Apple to just extend that to 5 years, 3 years, 2 years,
Ludicrous.
1 year is just like so short. Like, how about you just keep the cert
What is it?
active while my account is active?
What is that even about? What is the 1 year? Is that like my machine gets stolen and only for a year people can release apps under my name? Is
Yeah.
that the logic behind the 1 year expiration? Because I
Which,
don't get it either.
like, you could just go into the Apple developer portal and revoke those certs.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Don't make any
sense.
sense. It's so upsetting.
You could
Yeah.
tell this is yet another episode of Merge Conflict doesn't understand security.
No. Anyways, if anyone has any questions, comments, raise hand. That's all I got for this episode, Frank. That's all I got.
Well, it's good because I've been doing my own CI/CD problems, and I like the simple elegance of a simple security problem. Except you were giving me a heart attack with losing the key store there. That's pretty ugly. But I've been living in my own CI/CD world of updating all my apps because I mean I was joking earlier when I said remember the 5 apps I'm shipping. I'm actually shipping more than 5 apps, and maybe it is time I came up with a solution to like automate updating all this stuff on GitHub. But I use GitHub Actions for all my signing stuff and everything. And from the web UI, they make it a bit cumbersome to
Yeah.
update all the certificates and everything. There's got to be a way. So please write in also if you're a GitHub API power user and you know how to do security stuff, because gosh darn it, I'm starting to think maybe I need a script to do all this stuff.
Yeah. I want to live in that world where things are easy. Just drop it in the thing and then it just works forever. Apple, please. It's only been 20 years, but please just let us have longer certs, like more than a year. Please.
You could also start signing all your .NET assemblies and all your NuGet packages.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No one needs you to sign them. No, it's inappropriate. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. All right. I'm done signing, Frank. I'm going to sign off from this podcast and I'm going to go.
You've been traveling, buddy. You made it. You made it to the end. Here. And you're dealing with security stuff. What a life you live.
What a life. All right. Well, that's going to do for this week's Merge Conflict. Let us know how you're handling your certificates. And don't forget, we have a Patreon. We did a super bonus episode on audio interfaces. If you're interested in that, patreon.com/Merge Conflict FM. You can support the show and help Frank get a paycheck and help us pay our server costs and maybe buy a security book. We'll see. We also have a YouTube where you can see our faces, youtube.com/@Merge Conflict FM. We went with a theme that you could just, at Merge Conflict FM. And now we have 640 subscribers.
Hello, everyone.
Faces. Oh, wow. We actually got like a lot of views. Let's see if we got any comments on any episodes. Oh, yeah, we did get some comments. Okay. Someone's interested in my minimal desk setup. They like the new camera angle, but the mic boom is too intrusive. It is intrusive. It's all up in my face.
The opposite of minimal, everyone.
Yeah. That's about it. There you go. Also someone from our family IoT tech support. Someone said that they're glad that I'm not the only person with IoT issues. That's good. And then someone also said cables in the back. So put the cables in the back. I could put the boom arm down here.
You put it down. So it's not up here.
But you sound so much better. You know what I mean? When you're here, you sound better.
We do get to hear every vibration of your vocal folds.
Wow. Yeah, because see, when you're down here, it's just not the same. That's not how they're made. They're meant to be all up in your face. So, I can do a little bit better. Oh, wow. Frank, you do sound way better, by the way.
This episode of ASMR Merge Conflict is just for all our YouTube fans.
That is the bonus. All right, let's get out of here. See you later, buddy. Oh, that's going to do for this week's Merge Conflict. So until next time, I'm Jason Montemagno.
And I'm Frank Kruger. Thanks for watching and listening.
Peace.